Yeah, I do have a comment on that. And it's your obligation as a business person to kind of sniff out the project and the corporation or the entity and where the person is and how critical that project is. So if I was going over to talk with Dr. Bloom and they know he's a nonprofit organization, I'm going to look at it and say, well, you know, I'm just not going to make a hell of a lot of money out of this thing. So, well, you know, whatever it is I need to do to get this thing going, I'll do it, and that's what I'll bid on. On the other hand, if I'm in the CEO's office someplace and they're talking about some sort of mission critical problem, and you go, I think the traffic will bear a little bit more on this one. I'm going to jack it up a little bit. More people, more skills, higher bill. And usually at those levels, by the way, I should add that they don't respect you unless you really charge them a lot anyway. So it's kind of strange, a strange way. But if you go to the top of the ladder,
That's
top
right.
of the food chain, so to speak, and you give them a low discount project, they're all going to look at you and say, well, I think I'm going to go hire somebody more expensive because you couldn't be any good at that price.
Right.
So sniff it out and see what the traffic will bear and then make your best shot at it.
This is the last question because we are actually out of time. I know that we could talk probably a lot longer, and I think we got through almost all of the questions, but I'd like to ask this last one. How do you vet a specialist consultant? How do you know that they're going to be giving you good advice? Because if they're coming in as a specialist filling some niche or gap that no one has, how do you know that they're good? Joyce?
You know, that happens with us with our actuarial projects. But we do have some actuaries on staff so that we can value and try to validate the outcomes. And in a lot of cases, you have to know something about the project to give the assignment out in the first place. So you would be able to look at the outcomes along the way and not just wait till the end of the project. So we have milestones along the way, and we have a number of actuaries who work at our firm so that we can look back and see what they've come up with and make sure that they're on track with what we expected to see. We'll hire actuaries who have bigger databases than we have to help us solve some of our problems, but often what we are seeing as a result is something that we had in mind. If it's a left turn, then we might have to go to another actuarial firm if it was that far out. But I don't think that usually happens. We usually have people who can validate it. So I would think that if there's a specialist in most of the projects that we have to work on, we have a way to validate the results.
Okay, one more person, Noel?
I reference everybody that comes to work through us, and I'm at the level of the resume that I get, I am not referencing if they are technically capable as an accountant. You know, can they be the CFO? They didn't get to their level without doing it. I need to know about how they do their job. I want the stories about this person was amazing because, and I need to hear that from their references before I put them out, and then I'll know, you know, this is the type of project that I'm thinking about Bob for. Tell me why Bob would be a good fit for that. And if they don't tell me Bob's going to be a good fit for that and they're their reference, Bob's not even getting put in front of the client for them to make a decision on that.
So first of all, can we have a round of applause for the panelists because they did some real heavy lifting tonight. So thank you. I want to thank you very much for your attention and insightful questions this evening. I hope you've gained some useful ideas and some information from this discussion. I know I have. The good news is that if you didn't catch it all, it is being videotaped and it will be posted as a podcast. And so you'll receive that link and you'll be able to share that with your other colleagues. Please be sure that you do sign and turn in the disclaimer form that you were given tonight. So that way if we did capture you on camera, that we have that filled out for our files. And now I'd like to acknowledge our co-hosts, Herb and Judith, as well as our panelists, with some gifts from Kendall's School of Business. So if Herb and Judith would come up. And I have, these are wine totes with the Kendall logo, and there is a bottle of wine in each of these so that everybody can go home and kick back for all the great work that they did. So here you go. Here's one for you and one for you. And don't worry, I didn't run out. I have 2 more hidden over here. So if you can pass those down. Whoops. And last but not least, I will be turning this over to Herb. I hope that you enjoyed coming to Kendall College, and I hope that this is the first of many engagements with MSPC. I think it's a very worthwhile organization. I encourage you to check it out at their website. I know I will be soon applying to be a member myself. So, Herb?
Thank you for the unexpected gift. That's was certainly not something I had expected. As a consultant for the last 11 years, I was really impressed with the answers that, and the wisdom that the panel shared. Having dealt with most of those issues myself at one point or another, I can assure you, those of you in the audience who haven't dealt with those issues, that the answers were spot on. So again, I think the panel did a terrific job of handling some very well thought out questions that Michelle had put together, as well as the questions from the audience. So again, from the MSPC side, thank you all for your attendance, and we certainly appreciate your being here tonight, and we look forward to seeing you at another, hopefully, joint Kendall MSPC event in the not too distant future. So thank you all.
Thank you for coming.